Good morning, guys. It's Miss Pitcock. Today, we're going to be talking about multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. Now, you should have dealt with fractions and mixed numbers in elementary school, and so today should hopefully be a review. We're just going to multiply fractions and mixed numbers. So our objectives are going to be to learn how to multiply fractions and mixed numbers, and we're also going to learn how to write fractions in simplest form. That means it's not enough just to multiply. We have to simplify our answer to lowest terms. The essential question is how? How can you multiply fractions and mixed numbers? Now to get started, we're going to watch a video from Solve Realize. I'll play it through my screen. And this video is going to show us how to use models, how to use pictures to multiply fractions. And then after that, we'll go into the rule. So here comes the video that we watched in class. Okay, so the problem said, whoops. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here. The problem said, what math problem or what expression do you need to do to solve this problem? It originally said find 1/3 of 1/4. Guys, in math, the keyword of means multiply. So of means what? Of means multiply. So you have to do 1/3 of 1/4, 1/3 times 1/4. So of is going to mean multiply in math. That is why we're writing that math problem. Now they're going to show us how to solve that using pictures. Well, if you want to figure out what one part represents in the model, you have to count how many pieces there are total. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 pieces total, so this one piece is 1 out of 12. And to reiterate what they did is they took the whole model and they divided it into fourths. Okay, I'm making it bigger. So they divided their model into fourths. You have 4 sections. Then they divided each of those sections into thirds because I needed 1/3 of a fourth. So now there's 3 sections in that fourth, 3 sections in this fourth, 3 sections in this fourth, 3 sections in this fourth. Now I only wanted 1/3 of 1/4. So here's 1/4 and I only needed 1/3 of that. That is how they got 1 out of 12 total pieces. Okay, they did a better job drawing their picture. I just went back and reinforced it. Now, there's a different way to draw the picture too that I think makes more sense. So let's continue on. Well, the product is going to be the overlap, where the two colors overlap. So it's going to be this orange shaded section. That is the answer, 1 out of 12. Okay, so I'm actually going to kind of stop right here, and I want to once again reiterate what they did. So what you had was you had a pan of lasagna, and it said that there was a fourth of the pan left. So what I'm doing is I'm dividing my pan into fourths. They're supposed to be equal parts. My drawing's a little iffy. So there was a pan. There was a fourth of the lasagna left. So that means this orange piece right here. This was the only piece that was left. Then it says I ate a third of that. Okay? So I ate a third of that. That means I ate this piece right here. I only ate one out of the three pieces. Now, when you want to do your fraction models, every size of the fraction model or every piece of the fraction model must be the same size. So if these are little pieces up here, I have to make all the other ones the same size pieces. So I ate just this dark blue one. I ate one out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's how you can multiply fractions using of with pictures. But there's an easier way, guys. If you look at their picture down here, or their math example, the rule is multiply straight across. So if I have 1/3 of 1/4 of means multiply, the rule that you learn in elementary school for multiplying fractions is multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to solve these problems. You may want to do a model, you may want to use the rule. So let's go and practice for a second. So you may want your math book. If you don't have your math book, you can totally use paper and pencil. It's up to you. But if you do have your math book, we're going to be on page 22. Page 22. And on page 22, you would see this try it problem. Okay? On page 22, you would see this try it problem. We're going to go through this together. So it says find 1/4 times 1/5 using the area model. So it wants me to actually use this. Well, it says 1/4 means 1 out of 4 rows. So that means I want this one. I'm dealing with rows. Rows go side to side, okay? Like all the way across, like rows in a movie theater. So I want only 1 out of the 4 rows. And then it says 1/5 is 1 out of 5 columns. Columns go up and down, like columns holding up a building. I only want 1 out of those 5. Now my product, my answer is going to be where they overlap. They overlap right here. That's only one square out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's only one square out of 20 squares. So that is my product. Now, you could have checked yourself by the rule. The rule is multiply straight across. So 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 5 is 20. And you get the same answer. Okay? And it says convince me, why is the product, why is the answer 1/20th less than each factor? Because I'm talking about a section of each factor. Just a section, just a part of a row or part of a column. Okay, so now here's the one you're going to try. And I think I misspoke earlier. This one actually is going to be on page 22. Let me erase this and we'll get to it. Okay. Yes, so number 7 on page 22 is the one I want you to do. It says find 5/6 times 1/2 and use the model to help you solve. So I want you to try to figure out how you would shade the model to find this answer. You can always check yourself by doing the rule where you multiply straight across. So pause it on page 7, not page 7, on page 22, number 7. I want you to try that one, okay? So pause. All right. So 5, 6. Figure out which one of these is broken into 6 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There are 6 rows. I need 5 of them. I need this one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, 6. Okay. Times 1/2. Well, 1/2 means I need 1 out of the 2 columns. So that means I want this. So my answer is going to be where they overlap. I'm looking for a section that's purple and blue. That would be this section right here. Okay? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 6, 12 sections. Now I'm going to go back and multiply and check this. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 2 is 12. So I know I'm right. Okay? So this is how you use models if you choose to use models. If your brain doesn't understand models, don't worry about it. You can rely on the rule. So now we're going to practice multiplying fractions, different types of fractions, using simply the math rule. So let me erase this so we can continue. Okay. So there's 3 different columns because there's 3 different types of problems you might see. The first kind are the simplest, where you just have a simple fraction times a simple fraction. And the rule is in the cloud. It says multiply straight across. So 3 times 11 is 33. 5 times 12 is 60. Now the math gets more complicated because this, unlike the previous examples, is not simplified. You can simplify 33 over 60 by figuring out what is the biggest number that goes into each. Well, I know 3 goes into both of them. So you have to divide the top and the bottom by 3, okay? You have to make sure that they match. 33 divided by 3 is 11. 60 divided by 3 is 20. There's no longer anything that goes into 11 and 20, so I am done. I want you to try the one down here. So pause, come back to it when you're done, find the product and make sure you simplify. All right, 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 9 is going to be 36. Now, this isn't simplified. You can divide by the biggest number that goes into each of them. I know 6 goes into each. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. 36 divided by 6 is 6. So the most simplified answer for that is going to be 1/6. 1/6. Okay? Let's move on to the next type. So those are just simple fractions. The next type are dealing with a whole number in a fraction. Well, the rule is multiply the tops, then multiply the bottoms. But when you have a big number that doesn't have a top or a bottom, we have an issue. So in the bubble, it says put the whole number over 1, then multiply straight across. Any whole number can be put over 1. 3 wholes is the same as 3 out of 1. So I would write the whole number with a 1 underneath and go straight across. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 1 is 6. Now, retro, we have an improper fraction. We are not allowed to keep it where the top number is bigger than the bottom number. So what you would do is you could do long division or you can think it through. If you do long division, remember a fraction bar means divide. So I have 15 divided by 6. I have to think how many times does 6 go into 15? Well, 6 goes into 15 two times. That's my whole. Okay, well, 6 times 2 is 12. What's left over is 3. My remainder is my new top number, and the denominator stays the same. Okay, so it's 2 and 3, 6. Now, is that done? No, it can be simplified. 3 goes into 3, and 3 also goes into 6. So I have to break that down to lowest terms. So when I do that, I'm going to get my big 2, don't forget it. 3 divided by 3 is a 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. I'm going to get 2 and a half. So the skill of multiplying fractions isn't challenging. It's the simplifying fractions that's hard. So let's give this one a go. Let's see what you can do. Okay, pause it, try it, and then we'll go over it. All right, the first thing we have to do is put the whole number over 1. And then we're going to multiply straight across. So 4 times 7 is 28. 1 times 8 is 8. Once again, the top's too big, so I have to convert it to a mixed number. A fraction bar means divide. So let's see how many times 8 can go into 28. 8 goes into 28 3 times. So that gives me 3 wholes. And let's figure out what's left over. 8 times 3 is 24. I have 4 left over. So I have 4 out of 8 pieces left over. The denominator always stays the same. Now your brain should be like, hey, I know how to simplify 4 eighths because 4 is half of 8. This actually turns into 3 and a half. That is our answer. We got that because you can divide 4 by 4 and you can divide 8 by 4. Okay, so 3 and a half should be the answer to that. You try. There's one last problem type that we can do. The last problem type is when you have mixed numbers, okay? Mixed numbers. And what it says in our little cloud bubble is it says change everything into a top and bottom fraction, then multiply straight across, okay? And you do this by making your fraction mad. We want to change it to an improper fraction. What this means is you're going to multiply and then add and keep the denominator. So 4 times 2 is 8. That's multiplying. Add 3 to that and you're going to get 11. Denominator, you're going to keep and you're going to get a 4. So 2 and 3/4 is the same as 11/4. I just rewrote it improper. Times 8. Well, 8 is a whole number, so stick it over 1. Now we're simply going to go across. We're going to get 88 over 4. Well, we can simplify or it's improper. So we can do 88 divided by 4. 4 goes into 8 twice. 4 goes into the other 8 twice. There's no remainder. My answer is just 22. 22 was my answer. So let's try this one, or I should say you try this one. Change everything into a top and bottom number. Okay, so you have to make these mixed numbers mad. Multiply, add, keep the denominator. Go straight across and simplify. So you try. All right, so let's go from the top to bottom. I'm going to multiply 2 times 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 is going to be 9. So I'm going to have 9 over 2. Because remember, D means keep the denominator. Multiply, then add. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Keep the denominator. I'm going to go straight across. So 9 times 5 is 45. 2 times 4 is 8. I can't keep my answer improper, so I have to divide. Let's see what my whole number is. Well, 8's going to go into 45 5 times. That's my whole, because that's how many whole times it goes in there. 5 times 8's 40, so my leftover is 5. So I have 5 left over. Keep your denominator. 5 left over out of 8. Okay? So those are the problems that we went through in class as notes. If you get stuck, you can come back to this video and rewatch just the part that you need to see. Now, the next thing we did in class was a couple of practice problems, okay? So let's go through and do a couple. Okay? So let me click the mouse and go through. So these are the problems I wanted you guys to practice. It's on page 23. Page 23, there's 4 problems I want you to attempt. So go ahead and pause and try these 4 problems and then come back here to see them worked out. Okay? This is just simple fractions. You're going to go straight across. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. There's nothing that goes into 3 and 8, so it is simplified. This one I want to draw your attention to. Do you see how diagonally there's a 3 and a 3? You can do something called cross simplification. I can go ahead and mark those out since they match, and I'm left with just a 1 on the top and a 7 on the bottom. That makes simplifying so much easier. I could have done it the other way. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. But then I have to simplify at the end. Okay, 3 goes into both of those, and I get a 1/7. It's much quicker if you notice matching diagonals because you can simply cross them out. This fraction I have to make mad before I can do anything, so go from the bottom up. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So I have 16 over 5 times 2 over 3. Well, 16 times 2 is going to be 32. 5 times 3 is 15. To change it into a mixed number again, 15 goes into 32 twice, which is 30, and there is 2 out of the 15 pieces left over. And then the last one, we got to make them mad. So multiply, you get 32. Add, you get 33. Multiply, then add. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, over 2. When I multiply straight across, shoo-wee, 33 times 11. What is that? You may have to work it out. You're going to get 363 over 16. Man, oh man. Okay? I'm going to have to come over here and simplify that because I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Well, 16 goes into 36 twice, which is, I think, 32. Yeah, 32. You're going to subtract. You're going to get a 4. We're going to bring down that 3. 43 divided by 16 is going to be, I think, just another 2, which is 32. So I'm going to get 11 left over. So this is going to be 22. That's how many times it went in a hole, with 11 out of 16 pieces left over. And that is what we did in class. So I'm going to, I guess I have to erase everything. Then what we did is we went to Canvas. So while I'm erasing this, please go ahead and open up your math Canvas. Open up your Canvas course for math. There are lots of things we need in there, and there is a link. There is an actual link to your assignment today. All right, so let me get there too. So I need to go to Canvas. It's in our waffle Canvas. Okay. And I want math class. You guys are probably beating me. Well, I'm just going to go to third period. I'm going to pick a class. So lucky you, third period. And we're going to go to modules. Okay? Today's day is the 16th or the 17th, and it's in multiplying fractions. When you look in here, I will have the live lesson right here, but your assignment is a link. It is not in Solvus Realize. So your assignment is a 12-question quizzes. You must complete before Monday, September 21st. And when you click here, it's going to take you exactly to the website you need to go to. Make sure you use your first and last name so that I can give you credit. If it's not your name, I don't know who to give the credit to. Okay, if you don't like your score, you can redo it. Now, another thing in Canvas are your resources. So I'm going to hit next. I have resources on long division, decimal division. I'm not really interested in those today. I want you to go to the multiplying fractions visuals and videos. I have posters to show you how to simplify fractions if you're struggling. I have a video to show you how to simplify fractions if you're struggling. There are posters to show you how to convert between mixed numbers and improper fractions, as well as videos to show you how to switch between the two. And then there's directions for multiplying fractions. And if you don't know where that is, it's in modules. And under resources for this week's module, it says multiplying fractions, visuals, and videos. Don't forget your homework assignment is quizzes. Quizzes. Okay, that's all. Bye, guys.